Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Life Transformation Radio. This show is all about life transformations and our journey from where we were to why we are doing what we are doing today. We will discuss the hiccups, the roller coasters, and the blood, sweat, and tears that has been poured out while discovering our purpose. It is all about our transformation. Here is your host, Sean Douglas.
This is Life Transformation Radio. I am your host, Master Resilience Implementer, Inspirational Speaker, Performance Expert, and author, Sean Douglas. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all of our listeners who are listening from wherever you are. This show is heard in 28 countries, such as U.S., Brazil, Canada, France, Australia, and New Zealand. So thank you so much to those who are listening from around the world. Life Transformation Radio is all about our transformations. Here, we tell the story of why we are doing what we're doing. We highlight that transformational moment that changed our lives and how we are using these two to help transform others and elevate their lives. You can listen to us every Wednesday and on the first and third Fridays at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. On the show are impactful and amazing guests that are impacting everyone around them. And my guest today does exactly that. He is amazing. He's authentic. He's real. And he has a servant's heart. So if you have any questions for any of the guests that are on here, this is a live show. So you can call in and talk to the guest at 657-383-1109. Again, the number is 657-383-1109. And please help me welcome to the show, Angel Ribo. Angel, what's happening, brother?
Hi, how are you? Thank you for such a nice introduction. Everything is going great. Thank you.
Dude, I am super pumped to have you on the show, man. Like, I was waiting for this one, man. We met at the New Media Summit in San Diego, California, back in September, and you're like one of the first people that I connected with, man. So I really appreciate the relationships that's been cultivated since that event, man.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. I feel the same way. Actually, we were sitting at the same table, and we started talking, and we found those common points of interest, and how we see life, how we see business, and that immediately made us think that there was a potential place for collaborating and for cooperating to help people, as you say in your introduction, with the hiccups and the roller coasters. I'm all about that.
Oh, yeah, man. Absolutely. So if you are ready to go, I am ready.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's do this. So this episode is titled Business Strategies with Angel Ribo. Angel Ribo, known as the CEO Confidant, is an international speaker and the Preeminent Advisor to CEOs. Both established entrepreneurs and corporate CEOs hire Angel to bridge the gap globally for expansion and exposure because they have limited themselves to their immediate market, their own backyard. And so what Angel does is he helps them understand, discover, and design a plan to go into international markets. There is a science and a secret to taking things global, and that is his mastery. Angel helps CEOs to identify the top cultural differences to conduct business in that area, find the right local partners to go in this journey together with, and learn the most important local business development strategies and tactics that they have to use to generate revenue inside of that country. In the last 19 years, Angel has helped more than 1,500 CEOs and in 33 different countries. He was born near Barcelona, and he has lived in 8 countries and speaks 5 languages fluently. Angel is now based out of Texas, where he cares for his family and runs his business. Early in 2017, he launched his international foundation, Wisdom for Kids, and he has helped hundreds of underprivileged kids in Latin America become entrepreneurs using their local resources. And you can connect with Angel, www.theCEOConfidant.com. His Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of the links are there in the show notes. Connect with him. The dude is absolutely crushing it. So, dude, I like five different languages, man. Like, how that's amazing.
Thank you. Well, I have to say this is probably my parents' idea, which is great, and it's since I was a very young kid, I had French as a foreign language in school. We still didn't have English in that part of Spain at that point in time. But they said, we still want you to learn English at the same time that you learn French. And then they allowed me to go to foreign countries while it was still in the primary school system. And then, when I started working, I find myself that with my French and my English, besides my Spanish and my Catalan, I could learn, and I had to go somewhere else to work because of my language skills. So eventually I had to serve the Portuguese market. So I started learning Portuguese. And also I was, I have to say I was very blessed because living in that area of Spain, in Catalonia, we speak another language, and that gives us the chance to learn more, more sounds. But yeah, I guess that's my parents' merit, not as much mine at that moment, at that moment in my life.
That's awesome, man. So the first question that we always ask on the show is why. I feel like when you wake up in the morning, you have to ask yourself, why? Why do we do what we do? So my first question to you, Angel, why do what you do?
Yeah, so it was the morning in February 2015, and I was in Mexico City. It was a Saturday morning. Unfortunately, I was very sad because I should have returned back to Texas, but my work didn't allow me to do that. So I was very sad because I said, okay, my work again made me delay my return to Texas to be with my family because I had to take care of the work, the job I had at that point in time. And I was in the shower, I was reflecting, everything I had done throughout my life, really. That was what I had in my mind. And suddenly I started crying, really. I mean, I started crying like a baby, and I was under the shower. I remember that moment very, very, very clear. And all those flashes came to my mind. So I'm having goosebumps right now explaining that to you, Sean.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had all those flashes coming to me in which all those different things I had done in my life, traveling so much, doing business in so many countries, the reason why I was doing that is because I had to take care of the kids in Latin America. I lived in Latin America for 10 years. And all those different flashes said, Angel, you have the passion, you have the knowledge, you've been working with so many business leaders in the world. What you have to do is, put all those, worlds together and start serving the kids in Latin America. So answering to your question after this short story, this is exactly what makes me get up every morning so early, which is serving those kids. And everything I do in my for-profit business and in my non-profit is helping kids in Latin America become entrepreneurs using the local resources.
Awesome, man. I love it. Couldn't get no better than that, right? That's awesome.
Thank you. I love it. Yeah.
It's a great why, man. I mean, really, it's because it's not so much like self-serving. You know what I mean? A lot of people who are suicide awareness trainers like me have gone through suicide, so it's something that we believe in. You know what I mean? It's almost like self-serving. I mean, we serve other people, but the reason why we did it was kind of self-serving. Like, people who are rape advocates have been raped. People who work with alcoholics have gone through that. You know what I'm saying? So it's personal to you as it is personal to everybody else. Yeah. But at the same time, it's a deeper connection, right? I love hearing about people's whys. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I absolutely love it, and that's a great one.
Yeah. Thank you. If I had to connect it to some specific moments in my life, while I was living in Latin America for those 10 years, I was traveling to all those remote areas in which I was visiting, big manufacturing plants, and around all those areas, there were always kids, asking you for something all the time. They were offering you, I don't know, gums or tacos or some fruit or So all the time I was going to, visit those manufacturing plants and that wealth being generated there, but surrounding those areas, tons of, lots of different kids in need were offering me service or all sorts of services, or maybe only, cleaning my windscreen, my windshield of my car. Right. I guess this was, this was also something that was little by little, throughout those 10 years, making me think that I had to do something for them, not just, buying some products or allowing them to offer their service to me.
Awesome. I love it. So tell me who you were before you got to this point. Let's say you go back like 10 or 15 or 20 years. Who was Angel up to this point?
Yeah, so 15 years ago, I was already here in the Americas. So although I am originally from Barcelona, as you said in the introduction, I was already in 2001. I moved from Europe to the Americas, actually to Latin America. So I was in Mexico City. I was starting to work for a multinational software company, American software company, in its headquarters in the north of Latin America. It was my first time ever on a development country, a huge country. I had just disembarked there, and really, it was like it was a shock culturally speaking, because it was completely different to living in Europe. At the same time, I had a divorce. I got married in '96, and I got a divorce in '97, so it was only a few months married. That was pretty unfortunate at that time. It was really dramatic for me. So I was still, let's say, single, second round single, and I was starting again. I was in touch with a very different culture, completely different culture. So that was me. That was me. I was free. I was having a blast. I was going to all those areas in Latin America, learning a lot of things about the different cultures. And at the same time, I was kind of free. So I was single, and I was having a very good time. I can tell you that. I was really enjoying it. I love the sea. I love everything related to the sea, to the water. I love dancing. So, I was really having a great time. So good. I was living my, but, if you ask me from the sense of my life at that time, I would say, really, I didn't have that sense of purpose. I really didn't have that. So I was just living exactly. I was just living the life, so like whatever I make, I spend it. Yeah. Really, I remember being in remote areas in the continent, and I would say, okay, so what I'm going to do next weekend? So I'm going to go to the closest, beach, and I'm going to have a great time there, and I'm going to be, dancing, and I'm going to be having a great time, having, great meals, and that's who I was. But, what was my contribution? What was my legacy? So, it wasn't there. It really wasn't there at all. So that's who I was. A big change in 15 years.
I was just saying, man, that's a big change. So here's where we highlight that transformational moment. Okay? Here's where we highlight that transformational moment. Looking back, can you pinpoint exactly what your transformation was that put you on the path that you're on now?
Yeah. It was when I got married for the second time. I found this amazing woman, incredible, Jacqueline, my wife. And also Freddie. So our first kid. So that changed my life completely. I suddenly had a kid, right? But you know what? It was like natural to me. I never thought, I have a wife and a kid at the same time. I thought, wow, what a blessing. So it was natural to me, really natural. So I started dating my wife, and I started also taking care of my son, and it was something like as if I had been prepared for my entire life to do that. So immediately I just had an additional responsibility in my life of 2 additional lives. That was definitely number one. Number two, I would say something that also prepared me a lot for this time was obviously when I started traveling extensively throughout such a big territory with so many hundreds of millions of people. And I had to I was serving so many business leaders with different cultures, all of them, in different areas, all of them. And I remember that, and that's something that definitely my wife didn't like at that time. I was so much killing it in the sense that I was traveling and working so hard. She was actually telling me, my wife was telling me, you've been 2 weeks gone, Angel. 2 weeks gone. I mean, I understand that you like your work. I like you like what you do, and you're helping so much these companies. But hey, I mean, you have a wife and you have a son to take care of. But I have to say, I was really, really working very hard. And that made me realize that when you work so hard and you serve so hard, so honestly, with your heart, with everything that you got to business leaders and their organizations, then you start to change. You start to develop a new muscle. It's the muscle of service. When you start developing massively this muscle of service and taking action, and you are in motion, massive action and motion all the time, then you start realizing that the impact that you make onto those people's lives is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I was literally changing those businesses and those lives of tens of people at the time. So I would say those were 2 very important moments.
Awesome. I love it. So I got a 2-part question for you, right? So what was the best part about your transformation?
If I had to say that, probably that I wasn't aware of it until a few years later, honestly. So I felt it was natural. I felt like, I mean, I'm just doing it and I love it. I'm loving it. But I wasn't aware of the magnitude of what I was doing. So it wasn't until that day that everything came together that I realized that all that additional effort, at the expense of my family, so it was for a reason. So my transformation was dramatic at the moment because that affected my personal life. But at the same time, I didn't realize the real magnitude and the consequences of my transformation until a few years later. And obviously with the patience and the love and the care of my family behind it,
So the second part of that is, what was the worst part about it?
Yeah, so I had probably the family, the lack of time, the lack of I just didn't have time for anything else that what I was doing, what I had in my hands at that time. And I wasn't being really aware of how the rest of the people were suffering. That was probably the worst thing, because for me, every single bit I was putting on it, every single effort was natural, So it's like I was pushing myself, let's say my physical body, I was pushing myself and my physical body to a place where it had never been before. I have to tell you, now I weighed 155 pounds. I was weighing well over 186. Really? 186. Wow. I'm 5'8". So you can put that into actually, it's funny, if you guys Google Angel Ribo online, you will see pictures of me. And when you see my picture on Facebook, you wouldn't say it's the same guy. Literally.
Right.
You wouldn't say the same guy. It's just crazy.
Wow.
I could not even take care of myself as to have contact lenses. That's how bad it was. I pushed the limits of my body so much that I had a problem with my eyes. They couldn't take care of it properly, and I had to stop, using contact lenses and go back to glasses, to spectacles. So it was just crazy. I mean, but again, when you are in the midst of doing that, of that big transformation, you don't really realize it. Well, that's my experience. You don't really realize that it's a transformation. You're just suffering. It's just, you're taking yourself to a place that you've never been before. But for me, it was like, it's just normal. It's just normal. Maybe it's because the way I was brought up or raised that I was never finding excuses. I was just doing it. It's what life is about, so I was just doing it.
I think it's entrepreneurship, though. That's right. I think it's entrepreneurship. We're so focused,
exactly.
on what it is that we're trying to accomplish. We forget to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. And at that point in time, it's a good point, because at that point in time, I still had a job. So I was working for someone else. But when today I speak with some, employees, I tell them, I was working as an entrepreneur, for 25 years, but being paid by someone else. I mean, really,
right.
That was the case. But you are right. It's the entrepreneur that we have inside of us, and we maybe don't realize. And that's why we thrive in the corporate world. Definitely.
Yep, absolutely. So I got to ask you, through the whole process of what you do, who's been your biggest influencer?
Well, besides my family, because I think that kids are put in our lives and really brought into our lives to make us change and transform. That will be a conversation probably for another day. But besides my family, besides the support of my wife, and besides my kids, I would say 2 or 3 people that have inspired me, a lot. I mean,
right,
big time. First, I would say, an event that I attended of Tony Robbins. Mm-hmm. That definitely changed my life a lot. I mean, I'm Unleash Your Power Within in the UPW event of Anthony Robbins. Definitely. It. The place where my mind, the place where my soul, my being was during that event, I had never experienced before. Never. That was transformational. That was, someone that I still today look up to. Number 2, there's two guys that I really look up to as well, because I think that they're really unconventional, and my experience in my life have really taught me that what they say are incredible. It's incredible, and they're above the rest of the people I've been in touch with. One is it's a doctor, he's a scientist, a neuroscientist. His name is Dr. Joe Dispenza, and when he talks about that we can actually access the quantum field and the supreme intelligence that is above us, that's pretty unique. And I really, I use his teachings, and I am extremely inspired by him. And the third person I would mention that has inspired me is a guy called Frederick Dodson. And he's the reality creation coach. Again, all these 3 guys are very popular, so it's easy to find them online. And Frederick Dodson, with his reality creation techniques, again, I think he's outstanding. What he brings onto the table is he talks about parallel universes. His concept of the universe, again, is second to none. I feel so profoundly that there are those parallel universes that we can jump from one to the other. I think that your life is outstanding, Sean. So that. Would you resonate with the idea that you have been living in several different defining parallel universes in your life?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I definitely think you have, and I definitely think I have lived in different parallel universes.
Definitely.
So these 3 guys have taught me many different things that have inspired me, and have taught me a lot of things to be where I am today, Sean.
Awesome. Dude, I love it, man. I love it. So doing what you do, and we'll get into that in a second, what is one of the resources that you have found to be most helpful during your journey?
Definitely, as I work with the corporate world a lot, and I work with a lot of established entrepreneurs, both distinct audiences. I would say that
Mm-hmm.
an environment, a platform, a tool that has helped me tons is LinkedIn. Maybe it's too technical as a response to your question, but definitely LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the place. LinkedIn is a place where I
love
have
it,
found.
dude. Ain't nobody talking about no cheeseburgers on LinkedIn. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Like, anybody posting on LinkedIn, like, yo, guys, had this amazing cheeseburger. Like, it's all professionals, and I love LinkedIn, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that, we talk the same language, but I understand those guys. I understand them, and they understand me. And I little by little grew my network through trust, through effort, through sharing content, through sharing my journey, and I would definitely say this is the place where I have found those leaders, and those leaders are important for me because they help me change the world. I mean, those CEOs I work with and those established entrepreneurs, they help me change the world every day. They help me with with my kids in Latin America. They help me help them better every single day. They make me a better person every single day. So that's definitely the best answer to this question.
Yeah,
that's been changing my life a lot.
Way good. Yeah, way good. So what you do, which I absolutely love, is that you help the CEOs, right, for expansion and exposure. So I mean, can you break down like what exactly? I mean, you don't need to go through. I don't want to give away some of your trade secrets. That you get a lot of money to, you get paid well to do what you do, but just if someone wanted to work with you, what are they looking for? Like, if I wanted to get expansion and exposure, like, I mean, what am I expecting from you, Angel?
Okay, so ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question if you are, again, an established entrepreneur or you are a CEO. Ask yourself this question. Can the value that I am adding to my clients today, can it serve? Can those assets that I have developed serve people in other cultures, in other geographies, in other areas, in other sides of the world? If the answer is yes, then I would highly recommend you to think twice about them and go internationally, expand your business. So what they can expect from me is I will help them analyze exactly what the value that they already provide to the clients today, the way that they serve the world today. How can we take it internationally? Does it make sense to take it internationally? How can we take it to some other area? And what are the areas which are actually best suited to their products and services, to their values, to their assets? So that's the number one question. So what are the best areas for me to go internationally? So number two is, I would help them to find those local partners. I think that it's nonsense to go somewhere else unless you have really strong, proven, trustworthy partners in that area, in that country, that geography, that are going to help you, together with you, to expand your business there. And number three is, you're going to be conducting business in that area. Okay, so what are those tactics and strategies that you have to do to be able to develop business? Because It's not only going there and going with your partners. You have to learn those specific strategies and tactics to conduct business, to generate revenue in that particular area. So those are the three things that they can expect help with going with me. Obviously, there's more other like technicalities and specificities and legal issues and many other things which are more technical. Those are the easiest stuff. The difficult stuff is these things. According to my experience.
Right. Awesome, man. So where are you headed now, man? What kind of new adventures, businesses, expansions, family? What kind of things you got cooking up for 2018?
Oh yeah. So the CEOs help me actually to teach entrepreneurship to the kids in need. So that's one thing. I'm expanding. I have a network of volunteers in Latin America, so I am expanding to other areas. We've already launched several missions with workshops for the entrepreneurs, for the kids in need in Latin America, in a few areas. We want to expand that to many other areas. We want to take our impact from the hundreds to the thousands, and we have a network to do that in place already. So that's going to happen. Something else I'm working on a few secret projects. One of the secret projects. Yeah.
I like it.
So when you work with kids, so basically we work with kids from 7-year-olds to 15-year-olds and in 3 different age groups. But when you start working with kids in need and you start teaching them entrepreneurship, you suddenly realize that although they are in need, they have a lot in common with other kids in other age groups. A lot. You realize what the school systems are about today in many different areas, many different countries. So I'm actually working right now on, and actually you're going to be the first one knowing this besides me and my partner. So
and everybody listening.
And your audience, obviously, yeah. So we are going to help actually young men. We're going to help young men with their lives. We're going to help young men.
Awesome.
Exactly. So become entrepreneurs. We're going to help young men to find, purpose in their lives, to be motivated, and to turn things around. Because young boys today, we've found that they're a little bit lost in their lives, and we want to give them the edge that they need for their lives, and that's right. One of the secrets we have, and we are working right now to have
awesome.
To become a reality. Yeah. So you'll hear from me next year. Absolutely.
That's cool, man. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So as we wrap up, can you deliver your best nugget of knowledge that will motivate, transcend, or inspire someone?
Absolutely. So, we all face challenges every single day. We all have things that we would have liked to have done, but we haven't. We all have, this remorse that we could have spent more time with our families, with our partners, with our kids, with our friends, with our parents. I think that the most important thing that happens in the universe is that it's a game. Our life is a game. Our business is a game. The great thing about games is that we can get addicted to them. It's proven. And the universe has provided us with something wonderful called life, which is a game. If every morning, regardless if we have a good, strong why or not, we got up thinking that it's a game and we are there to play. We are there to play. We are here to play. Every single day we are here to play a game called life, a game called business. If we did that, we would take everything less seriously and would take us to a place of acceptance, a place outside judgmental, and that's strong and that's powerful. That's definitely something I would like to share with the entire audience. After working with more than 1,500 CEOs in more than 33 different countries, this would definitely make a big difference. Take your life and your business as a game and play it profoundly with a strong acceptance every single second of your life.
I love that, dude. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So here's the point in the show where you do a shameless plug. You plug your friend, quotes, your websites, Facebook, your favorite movie, give a shout out to somebody, whatever you want. This is your moment to shamelessly plug whatever it is you want. Shameless plug a moment, Angel. Go.
Okay, thank you. Well, definitely, yeah, I would like to have everybody, I would like to gift. I would like to give to everybody who's listening to me right now. And I would like to have everyone go, to the www.theceoconfidant.com. Go there and download something that's going to help you with your business. I would like, again, both entrepreneurs and CEOs to have, to be able to have some lessons for free that are related to what they're doing every day on their businesses. That's number one. And number two, I would definitely like them to go to wisdomforkids.today, wisdomforkids.today, another website. That's my foundation's website. And I would like you to go there because when you go there, you will first know much more about what we do in Latin America, what we do to help those 81 million kids in need in Latin America. what
Right.
we do to change that every single day. And you will be able to see that also, if we feel compelled about our mission, our purpose, and maybe become a volunteer in Latin America, or, donate something so we can help more kids. That would be awesome. Thank you for the opportunity. That's awesome. That's very appreciated, Sean.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we always end the show with a call to action. So what should someone do today? You talked about going to your website, buying, should it be buy a book, maybe set a goal or plan something, write in a journal. What do you suggest someone needs to do to take action in their life? Could be anything.
Yeah. So, the number one suggestion is, it's related to the nugget I gave before, is, am I really playing my life? Am I playing? I'm showing up for the play, or am I showing up in my life to suffer, to be judgmental? That's the difference. So that's the question I would like to leave everybody with. Am I really playing my life? Am I taking my life as a game? Am I playing it full out every single day? Or am I being judgmental? Am I going around every single day, maybe not being as positive and playing the game as if I was playing it, as if I was playing the game of my life? So that's the big question. Really, that's the big question. I think that if we answer this question, we'll realize that we can have so much more fun, so much more passion, and really, have fun by ourselves and with the people that surround us every single day.
I love it, man.
Thank you.
I need to get some more Angel, man. Like you're like a walking human quote machine, man. Like there's so much gold in what you just said, man.
Thank you.
So much gold. So I love the way that you look at the world, man. Like through your eyes and how things should be and kind of what your mission is and how you feel and think about things, man. I like it, man. I like how you view things. So
yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
I mean, I thank you because you gave me the opportunity also to share it. I remember when you shared all those stories with me about your personal life, which are incredible. Every time you share your personal stories, something opens up in someone all the time. So what you do with your show, touching so many lives in 28 different countries, I mean, that's unbelievable. Then the amount of lives you change every single day. So right. I just have to be, extremely thankful, grateful for being here today on the show and for being allowed to do that. So, whenever I can contribute to your life, to your business, to your show, I will be more than glad to do it.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So do you have any last words before we close the show?
Yeah. I remember the first time that I exposed myself to the world. And that was not, this many months ago when I went from a corporate job live onto an entrepreneurial life. The first time I decided to expose myself was through a live video on Facebook. When I finished my live video on Facebook, the video was about my life purpose. When I finished it, I remember when I said, stop broadcasting, I started crying like a baby, literally. I started crying like a baby. So, I was an imperfect action, but I did it. And I'm glad I did it because if I had not done it, probably I wouldn't be talking to you today. So guys, sometimes it's scary, but do it. Just do it. It doesn't matter. There's nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose to have that additional connection on Facebook, that additional Facebook live video, that post that is actually, inspiring you. Just throw it to the world. Nothing bad can happen. Just do it. Just do it.
I love it, man. Good for you, man.
Thank you.
Well, I hope to continue the relationship, man, that we have cultivated, and I am thoroughly impressed with everything that you have going on, and I wish you the best, man. I absolutely do. I wish you the best.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. I will be sharing, all my ups and downs with you. Thank you very much again for the opportunity. I've loved to be here, being interviewed by you and being listened by all your audience members in so many different countries. So thank you very much. Obrigado.
Awesome, man.
Mercedes. Gracias. Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, I forgot to ask him what languages he speaks. What languages do you speak?
So I was born with Spanish-speaking mother and Catalan-speaking father, which is the language we speak in Catalonia in Barcelona. Then I learned French first, then English, then Portuguese. Those are the 5 languages. So
English is like your 4th language.
Exactly. It's my 4th.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Well, good for you, man. Good for you. I like it. All right, brother. It has been a pleasure having you on the show. I appreciate you and what you're doing, and I'm sure that in 2018, man, you're going to come out crushing it, man.
I will. I absolutely will, and I will share it with you all over.
All right, man. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today on the show. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you.
So, Life Transformation Radio listeners, another great episode, another impactful guest. Connect with Angel Ribo, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. He's on YouTube. Go to his website, www.theceoconfidant.com. He's going to blow your mind. Get with him, the business strategies that he uses. I'm telling you, there's so much gold in what he has said here today. So connect with Angel. If anything that you have heard connects with you, subscribe to the show on iTunes, comment, rate, and review the show on iTunes. Let everybody know how this show has changed or helped you in any way. I love reading the comments. I love reading the feedback. It's been absolutely amazing, the response that we get. So rate and review the show. Subscribe to the show. Everybody can hear the amazingness that goes on. So as we close, I want to leave you with this. Live your brand. Find opportunities every day to live out the values that you hold deep in your heart. And I call that living your brand. Until next time, have a good night.